Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show with the Goon Squad. It's Black Thor, Ice, Water, and yours truly, Puma. 53 days to the Rihanna halftime Super Bowl show. And Black, I'm going to go with you on this one first. When I woke up this morning, I usually get a message on my listening device about breaking news. And I wanted to hear the breaking news for the morning. And I heard one of my childhood idols, I know probably your childhood idol, too, Franco Harris passed away from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wanted you to chime in on the passing of our childhood idol.
Yeah, that would surprise me, man, especially with the 50th anniversary coming up. Was that what they call the immaculate catch or whatever? You know, the NFL was promoting that all last weekend, coming up this weekend with the Raiders playing the Steelers. And when I came across that, I was like, damn, timing, man. That's like, really? And over the years, you know, haven't heard much from Franco. I actually think the last time I heard from Franco Harris is when stuff went on with Penn State, with the head coach there, Joe Patino. But man, like you said, childhood idol, Franco Harris was it. And when I think about it, as I started to grow up, he wasn't a dominating running back. He wasn't, you know, he didn't have great, as a running back, he didn't have great skill. But I remember last week seeing a video clip that Terry Bradshaw said the offense ran through him. Everything ran through Franco Harris. You think about it for a second, that Steelers offense of Lynn Swann, John Stallworth, Terry Bradshaw, Rocky Blyard, and know that everything basically was centrally around him. That says a lot, man. That says a lot. So, yeah, and again, from time to time, we think a running back, his name doesn't pop up, but when a running back basically commands that much respect and obligation in an offense that was prolific, it says a lot. He's going to be missed.
Franco Harris wasn't that flashy running back. You knew it's almost like he had to grind up the speed to get past the initial, line. And once he got up to speed, he didn't have that breakaway speed, but he can get some long runs going. And he was part of that Super Bowl run. You know, he had 4 Super Bowls. He was a Super Bowl MVP in Super Bowl 9. He was the Rookie of the Year in 72. First team All-Pro 77. The list goes on and on and on. He's a Hall of Famer. But I know you being a Cowboy fan, you didn't really kind of take a little shine to Franco Harris.
Well, look, I'm gonna speak to the man in a gracious way, despite what you just said. It wasn't all that. It wasn't all that. Okay. It was some Cowboy fans, some of the older ones like myself, can still speak to things with dignity, because we understand true football. I don't know what the hell they playing now. We have appreciation for, even when you lose to a great franchise and a great team, more than anything, you just pissed off because you rather get blowed out than lose about 4 points. But that's neither here nor there. But in regards to Franco Harris, it really speaks to me. His career spoke to hard work and perseverance, right? So you think about, as you mentioned, he wasn't flashy. You're never going to say, is he one of the top 10 of all time running backs? Probably won't even say that. But he found his niche, right? And I was just reading something recently that surprised me. He went to Penn State, right? And they recruited him to go to Penn State as a fullback. And his job was to block for Lydell Mitchell, the great Lydell Mitchell that played for the Colts back in the day. That was his job. But after everything shook out, he ended up finding his niche, and that's with the Steelers. And right place, right time. Of course, they had Rocky Blyard at the time too, but he found his niche, and he's able to do what he needed to do to make it move forward. And I think that's one thing athletes are missing today. You know, everybody's thinking you're supposed to be this great superstar, but if you find your niche with the right team, you can play for a long time and really make great money, and you can be a winner. And that's who Franco Harris was. And, you know, in regards to his reputation and a lot of things he's done in the community, he was a solid dude. So I think we're so stuck on in modern day times of trying to be a superstar and great, then hell, a model citizen or a dude that's a pretty good dude, make a lot of money, play for a long time, longevity, hell, that and a Hall of Famer, hell, what else you want? It can only be one number one. That's what I don't understand. People kill me with this. He's the GOAT. Dude, who cares? Like you say, I may not be in your top 10, but I'm damn sure 11. But Franco did a hell of a job. May he rest in peace, Franco. Much love, bro.
Yeah, one of the things I know we were talking offline about is that I don't know if Franco ever fessed up of whether it was the immaculate catch was a catch or whether he got it scooped it off the ground. And if he didn't fess up, salute to you, sir. You just took it to the grave. Nobody will ever know.
Oh man.
But that was an argument for years. And he would always say, well, it's over, but I'm never going to fess up. The refs didn't see it. So peaceful journey. It seems like most of our childhood heroes are passing away. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for giving us a lot of memories, things of that sort. Franco Harris was one of those guys. Like I said, he got behind that line. It almost looked like you could feel Franco kind of just gearing it up. And then once he got it in gear, he just took off and ran behind that great Pittsburgh Steelers line for years. I forgot that he played for the Seattle Seahawks for 1 year after he left the Pittsburgh Steelers. But this is going to be a great loss, and hopefully folks will go back and really learn about Franco Harris and what he contributed to the National Football League. Let's go to college. And I know I said last week when we were on the show that I felt Ohio State had a chance to beat North Carolina. And I came in around 8 minutes left in the game, and Carolina started to put a press on Ohio State. And Ohio State just couldn't recover. And I was really shocked that they really couldn't recover off that. But before I get to that, let's go to the top 25. You have Purdue still at number 1. UConn, they've been impressing me. They've been impressing me all year. When I first saw them, I'm like, they got a squad. Houston moves right back up at 2 spots in the number 3 spot, followed by Kansas, Arizona. Virginia has dropped 2. So they dropped to number 6, followed by Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, drops down 5 spots, followed by Arkansas. If you haven't seen Arkansas play, they have a great squad too. Gonzaga's getting back in the picture at number 11, followed by Baylor, UCLA, Duke. You have Mississippi State, Illinois moving up, Wisconsin moving up, Indiana moving down at number 18, followed by Kentucky, TCU, Virginia Tech, Miami is making a great run. They're at 22, followed by Auburn, Marquette, and Arizona State. Ice, give me your eye test, man.
Yeah, a lot was going on. What's really weird, I want to start with Alabama and Indiana. Alabama and Houston. They mirror each other. They remind me of being almost like the same team. Just that one team has a little bit more experience, and that's of course with Houston. And then of course Alabama is just real young. And the way that Gonzaga beat them in that recent game, it kind of showed you that inexperience hurt them. They're gritty. They play real hard. You do not want to see them in the tournament. But Gonzaga just kind of said, you know what? We got Timmy. We know how to play this out a little bit. And it shows you how teams will develop for the rest of the season. I think once they get it together, you're going to see a lot from Alabama. Purdue is for real. They got the big fella, Edney. Edney can play. He's a monster. He really is coming into himself like he's supposed to, a big fella that dominates you, getting his way. No more longer he's catching the ball and trying to do a little spin move, a la Sean Bradley. He turned punch dunks on you, bro, looking at you like, I'm 7 and some change, right? Get out my way. So I like his effort this year. UConn is coming along for sure. Got a big test coming up against Villanova. That's what I'm looking forward to. I want to see how they play against them. Something Black Throw going to be listening to very closely right now. One of the teams that is very damn sneaky. They are very sneaky. Nobody's paying attention to them because they're not supposed to be doing anything, but they kind of find out they're right in that spot. And that's Kansas. Kansas is supposed to be a down year for Kansas. And they just keep winning. They're like, okay, are we down? We lost all these people to the draft and whatnot, but they still finding ways to win. Kudos to them. Kind of like last but not least, got to give it up to UCLA. Mitch Cronin, you know how I feel about him a little bit, but he has 2 outstanding guards. And they like took over against Kentucky. Like, we just play smart basketball. Everybody else is kind of following us. We have a great cast. But those 2 guards are just so nasty that they took it right to Kentucky. And I'm like, when I watched Kentucky, I was saying, what is all of the hoopla about? Because they kind of look like a discombobulated team at all. When I watched them, I said, okay.
Very inexperienced.
Yeah. And Indiana, I looked at them too, and I know the Indiana's, they're like a great guard play away from being real tough. Last but not least, North Carolina against Ohio State. Buckeyes are young. They gave everything that they had. I'm gonna say one thing. Pumas, you came in with the last 8 minutes. That talent, that even though they don't play hard, that's the only thing I don't like about North Carolina. They do not play hard till they have to. But that talent, when they turn that switch on, the center start playing, Love start shooting that jumper, Black start locking down on defense. They just have ways. They have so much freaking talent that when they get ready to play, if they do play hard, they're hard to deal with, even though they're not in the top 25, but they'd be all right.
And that's the problem. I think they're so talented, and they know they're so talented that they don't get the effort all the time. And then they get beat. They'll play a half, then they'll try to come back in the second half, and it just doesn't work. Black Thor, you've been out for a while. Have you been checking out college basketball, sir?
No, I meant to check. What's a game? I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Alabama was playing Gonzaga. I meant to catch that one. I didn't catch that one. I saw UConn a couple of weeks ago, and I'll be honest, bro. I'm surprised at number 2. What I saw 2 weeks ago, I really wasn't impressed with. So to see them kind of rise to number 2, they got my attention. I want to kind of take some time out and watch Purdue. I'm a little surprised that Alabama dropped down. Houston's kind of hanging around. I've seen Kansas a few times, so I'm not surprised that they're where they are for the most part, because some teams lost some of the head coaches, but Bill is still there. He came out of detention. He's still there for the most part. He's kind of doing his thing. So I'm not surprised. I know there's some players, but no, I've kind of been in and out for the past couple of weeks, but you know, March is not that far away, and the reigning champ must start to pay attention, because, you know, we got to show up, at least show up for March Madness, at least show up, because, you know, if I don't win, I got to show well, because there's so many people gunning for me, man. It's just like, sometimes I feel the darts in my back. I just do, man. So I'm starting to pay attention a little bit more. And Ice is not giving out the information like he used to give, man. What he says now, you know what I mean? He should just come out and just like roll, man. But now he's like, let me pull back on this. I can't say that. Let me say, you know, he's real tempered now. And I noticed that. It's all right. It's all right. We're going to be good, though.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, I got a warning from my sponsors. They said you're giving too much away. They're the one that's paying. I got to take care of my sponsors. What do you want me to do?
I'm getting text messages, but he ain't saying that stuff on the show. Anyway, let's move into big boy basketball with the NBA. Milwaukee. I thought Milwaukee was going to kind of stay in the cut, you know, at third and fourth position, and not really kind of make a run for the number 1 position. But now they're number 1 in the East, followed by Boston, Cleveland, Brooklyn has been playing very well, followed by Philadelphia, New York on an 8-game winning streak, followed by Atlanta, and Miami has woken up and they got to a 500 level. In the West, you have Denver, Memphis, New Orleans, Phoenix, the Clippers, Sacramento, Portland, and Utah, with Minnesota at number 9, just getting over 500. Let me get your eye test, Black, on the NBA.
I'm going to put some teams, to me, that disappointed me. Milwaukee being there does surprise me, because I'm going to go out on a limb right now and say probably more than likely, if they can stay healthy, they're going to basically win it all, bro. In my opinion, they could just kind of, you know, follow the year and stay healthy. Everybody kind of stay intact and play for a full year. I mean, that Greek freak he doesn't get the attention and notoriety, in my opinion, he deserves. People will stop paying attention to old dogs and what could be, what can, you know, I think he would get the attention he deserves. But with that being said, I look at the Dallas Mavericks. To me, he can't be more disappointing than a franchise of them. And then I look at the Atlanta Hawks, man. I look at them. A couple of years ago, we thought they was up and coming. They were starting to move in the right direction. And I don't know what I'm seeing. Even a couple of years ago, the New York Knicks, man, we thought they were starting to come around. They're not there. So a lot of these teams that are kind of like at the 7, 8, 9 position, you look at them, Minnesota, they made a trade in the offseason. It hasn't basically amounted to anything. So some of the names that we're used to, you know, Memphis, Phoenix, they're doing their thing. I think Golden State will make a push towards the end when Curry come back. But outside of that, I mean, there's been a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of disappointment on teams that should be taking a step up or have taken a step up. And they're not, man. Maybe they're taking a couple of steps back.
Yeah, New Orleans was at the number 1 spot last week, and now as soon as like 1 week, 7 days, you got Denver up there, and Memphis, and New Orleans at that 3rd position. What's your eye test, sir?
Yeah, we'll start with the West. It's going to be back and forth. I think even in the West, with all of some of the major teams that are not up there right now, Golden State is without Steph Curry for a while. The Lakers are just they're basically kind of throwing it away with Anthony Davis and LeBron might be out for a month. Who knows what's going on there? But that means opportunity for other teams. In order for Memphis to go to the next level, this is when I think they should step up and say we're number one seed right now, and they're not doing that. You got John, when you got Ja doing his thing, you got a couple other guys coming on. You got Brooks being steady, but this will be a great opportunity for them to step up. But Denver's like, nah, if you don't want it, we'll take it. We'll take it. And watching them, New Orleans is going to just be back and forth. Phoenix is still hanging on. Clippers are kind of hanging around a little bit too, and going to probably play spoiler. And I like the fact that Sacramento is finally playing above ball again. I cannot say enough about Mike Brown and what he's doing over there, because people just, even though they may not make the damn playoffs, but I'm just impressed that you even talking about Sacramento in such a way this earlier in the season. In the East, you're right. Milwaukee by default to me is like, you know what? We just good. If y'all don't want to deal with it, you don't want it, we'll take it. Boston is not, they kind of slumped down a little bit. They were hot for a while, and now they're kind of playing a little bit more mediocre basketball, but I think they're going to be fine. Man, I love Cleveland. I told y'all this earlier in the season, even before they traded for Mitchell. They are nasty and dangerous. You do not want to see them because they have all this talent. And any night you might need something, or you might get a off night by Mitchell. Here's Karis LeVert doing this thing. They are so talented. I just hope that they can play well together like they have been, and the coaches can get them over the hump on a larger capacity. Come on, man. Brooklyn, everybody, I don't want to say 9-1, 11-3 since Kyrie. Nobody talking about it. He got to be talking about the Jews or somebody else and saying something crazy as hell for him to get some love for that. People just like, I'm like, damn, why is it that quiet? Really, Nike? Anyway, but that's another story. I'm just saying, bro, it's amazing to me that when you're doing something bad or wrong, people come for you, but when you just going along and trying to do some good things, and you're giving $20,000 to students that need help so they can stay in school. We heard shit about that, bro. How about that? When you dog him, how about give that man a little love when your ass will give $2 to keep a child in school at HBCU?
Yeah, paying for funerals. I mean, giving money to students,
Man.
things of that sort. I wouldn't be surprised if Brooklyn made it to the finals. What are they going to say when that happens and they come out the East in the finals? And if they did, I wouldn't be mad at Brooklyn doing that. But what are they going to say? How are they going to kind of shape the story at that particular time from focusing on the negative things about him, and then they find themselves in the finals? Black, you seem like you got something to say. You want to say about that?
No. I mean, I'm glad you guys said the thing that Kyrie's doing, because I'm being honest. I'm up here in the Northeast, bro. I've heard nothing about it.
Wow.
Nothing about it. Yeah, there's nothing being said. And I slammed it, man, which is true. When he was talking about them, everybody came for him. They was ripping him to shreds, and he's an idiot, he's this and that. But we hear nothing about him doing anything good, man. It's like, for the most part, they're more talking about he's not going to be in the league next year. So, and, it kind of says some things to me, and it's probably a question I'm going to throw out later on. We have questions about the media, because we got to really start to understand and look at them really deeply, and start sometime to look back, what is their agenda? Because sometimes, man, it makes you just wonder, bro. It makes you wonder what is really going on, how they're really trying to shape things. But I mean, anyone can say something or do something in life that we may not be pleasant or happy with, but we don't throw people away. We don't, man. We look at the person as a whole, and a tweet should not basically represent everything that young man is doing.
The other NBA story that I want to talk about briefly is the Phoenix Suns. There's a new owner that's trying to finalize the purchase of the Phoenix Suns. And Ice, what are your thoughts on this, man?
I read some things today, and I've heard both sides. I heard most people talking about, oh, we need more minority ownership, and and I'm good with that. But where they at, bro? Where they at? Where's your money? And I'm just keeping it 100. If you want something, we got all these people around here. Where you at, and where is your money? I've heard Mike Johnson talk about the guys from Michigan State play ball on the 2000 national championship team. A lot of people are giving him praise, but other people are just going straight at it. We need to have more people of color doing it. And I'm with that, yeah. But it's wide open. You could have put your money in. Where you at? Where you at? See, I don't have a problem with it. I'm all about when we talk about hiring people, whatever, and doing whatever we need to do. But when it comes down to this cash money, somebody got to buy the team. Well, yeah, open your checkbook, bro. Come on.
Black.
You know, I'm gonna say this, man. It may not sound cute. It may not sound nice. It damn sure ain't gonna sound sexy. The problem is with us as Black people and Black men, we always want to be out front. Ownership is in the back, bro. Unless you're Jerry Jones, you're in the back. And Black people do not aspire to be in the back. They want to be up front. They want to be seen. They want to be validated. And that's part of the problem. You can't tell me with all the money that ex-Black players made, you all can't come together and loot money together and get outside interest to buy an NBA franchise. Magic Johnson, you spoke of him. That son of a gun had part ownership of the LA Lakers years ago. We won't forget that. He gave that up to walk his Black ass up and down the court to be a coach for what, 3 months? Think about that for a second. One of the awesome franchises in NBA history. That mofo wanted to put on a pinstripe suit and do something he had no knowledge of doing. Gave it up. So from there, I say that, man, as a race of Black men, it is what it is. We want to be in front of the cameras, tap dancing, and doing all that BS stuff. We don't want to be the general managers. We don't want to be the owners, but we always want to cry when they don't look at us. Damn it, stop trying to be the show, be the owners. It is what it is. Same thing that comes around on an NFL franchise. You can't tell me with all the money that NFL players made, but they come together, you can't buy a freaking team? Dumbass Jay-Z, he better put somebody in Super Bowl. I know we talk about Rihanna, but that's his girl. Bro, you run around here calling yourself a billionaire, buy an NFL franchise. Next time you sitting your ass next down to Roger Goodell, tell him you want to buy a franchise. But your camel looking son of a gun, no, you don't want that, bro. Because we're too busy trying to be in front. We are. Let's get behind, let's start owning some stuff. And I'm tired of blaming anybody else other than us, and that's our problems. Long as the camera's on us and we're grabbing our crotch and we're feeling like we're good, we don't care. We don't care. It is what it is, bro.
Good points, good points. Let's go to the World Cup. Congratulations to Argentina. I'm not going to say anything negative about the World Cup, but I know, Ice, you were watching it. Give us some thoughts on the World Cup. I think it was a spectacle. It was a spectacle for everybody to see. It was some excitement. It was one team winning at one particular point. You thought it was going to just be a blowout, and the other team comes back. It was almost like a television show. I will say one thing, though. I do not like penalty kicks in championship games. I really don't. Just let them play until they score a sudden death, whatever. But penalty kicks is when I usually turn off a game because it just, at that particular point, it just becomes unfair. Your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the final. Of course, you're talking about France and Argentina, and then you think about Argentina with Messi. And I like France because they play hard, and I know they had that many brothers playing on that squad.
Anyway. Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, I heard about Morocco, but then I was like, why ain't they playing for Cameroon? Anyway, but that's another story. But when you look at France, they were playing real well. And that final, like you said, when they gave the free kick to Messi, and I'm like, and it was 2-0. I turned the game off. I literally did because I'm like, I'm not watching this. Then I turned it back on after they came close to tying up and went on to penalty kicks. But overall, I think it was a spectacle. You had a new young United States team coming out. I like that. They did not win a big number of games, but they advanced, and that's something that we haven't seen in a while. And I think it's a team that they can grow with. Certain guys I enjoy watching, like Ronaldo, one of my favorites of all time. I just enjoy watching that man, on the soccer field because he's magic. He really is. He's magic when you watch him play. Of course, got to give it to Messi. Watching Croatia, right? Morocco making a major move, watching big bad Brazil being taken down. So many things where it just made you really want to watch. And I hope they can do more of this. And I think a lot of the World Cup is going to be in America the next time. And if I'm blessed or whatnot to be here, I think I might try to check some of it out, particularly when the African countries are in town, because I just need to see Cameroon just for one time, or somebody with the African nation, so I can get my own brothers. You know what I'm saying? Get mine home. That's all I care. We can dance, even though we lose. I just want to dance.
And I'm pretty sure that's alcohol, which will make the party jump in a little bit more than in Qatar, where they sold no alcohol. You imagine if they sold alcohol, with the way those folks were partying over there. But Mbappe, man, he's gained a new fan in me. That particular, he just turned 24. So I kind of felt that when they gave Messi the penalty kick, the free kick at the beginning of the game, I'm like, there's no way Argentina's going to lose this, no matter what, because this is his last go around, and Mbappe is going to be here for a time to come. But that dude is, if you haven't seen him play, he is spectacular. And they both play on the same team in France with Neymar and all those the superstars of the World Cup. And so I'm wondering how they're going to stick together, if they're going to stick together in that French team in the professional leagues. We'll see, because Mbappe, I don't think is very happy with the situation there. But it was a good World Cup to see some new emerging teams that's upsetting some good teams. I have no complaints about it. Black, I know you like only one football, and that's the NFL. But did you get a chance to watch it or look at it or highlights or anything?
No, I can't say I did, bro. I mean, I salute everybody that participated, how it went down. And I think it's nice that this country chips in. I had no love for it, bro. And that's not out of disrespect. It's just that, no, I just didn't find myself compelled enough to kind of take any time out to kind of view. And it's interesting. I hear you say that it seemed like it was fixed. It wouldn't be, I mean, would it surprise me with all the national worldwide attention that somehow, money comes in and plays a part in some of this? I don't, because to me, let's just say, man, Vegas is Vegas. And Vegas is not only in Vegas. So if you know what I mean by saying that, it would not surprise me.
Well, I'm kind of getting a little, and I'll go here. I'm kind of getting a little disenfranchised with all sports, because you said I say 2-0, 2-0, and folks turned it off. So the advertisers don't want that. Just like in the Minnesota game where you're on the NFL Network and it's 33-0 at halftime against Indianapolis. Who's going to sit there and watch that game after halftime? So you got to do something to get people back into the game and then create some spectacular stories, almost like it's a movie. So I didn't think sports, the reason why I love sports, because it wasn't like television show. You don't know what's going to happen. Now you're kind of seeing that, okay, I kind of see how it's going. I kind of see how the refs are calling certain things. So maybe they're trying to set up something. But don't, I digress. I don't want to be the hater on the show. No. But that's the way I'm seeing things now.
Who you are, bro. You're not a hater, bro. You are. You speak it up, and that's cool. It's funny because I watched that Minnesota game, and I'll be honest with you, bro. I can't even tell how they came back. I watched that game. I watched it with my eyes, and when Buffalo, I remember years ago when Buffalo did that against Houston. Yeah, you saw the comeback coming. With this one, it's just for some reason you woke. I mean, it's like at some point I rubbed my eyes and the score was tied. Now the Colts are just that bad, or what it is. But they're gonna. The thing about this that's going to kind of basically live on in history is like Kirk Cousins was part of this, and that is not, to me, that's the ultimate mistake of this comeback, because he did not engineer a comeback of 33 points, and that's the thing that's going to kind of live on. I mean, if it was like Aaron Rodgers, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But I'm being honest. I watched that game from beginning to end. Did not tune out, and I still can't tell you how that happened. I just can't, bro. Well, I know at the end of the game they won. But I'll say this, Matt Ryan, you need to basically walk inside the coach's office, give him your helmet, give him your jersey, and just say, I'm done, bro. Because you are not an NFL player anymore. Forget quarterback, player. It's just, and it's just hard to see a player drop that fast. And to me, the way you lost that Super Bowl as a quarterback and lost that game, just turn it in, bro. Turn it in. Don't even show up next week. Don't show up. Do it, Andrew. What's his name?
Andrew Luck.
Yeah, do something. Just go cold, man. Because how do you come back from that as a quarterback? You playing now for what? For what? But there's 2 times in your career where you should have basically sealed the deal, and as a quarterback, you couldn't get it done.
Yeah, and they benched him for the second time this season. Ice, you have any final words on this?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it from that standpoint, I mean, I feel you where you coming from, but man, I'm still holding out, bro. I'm not gonna give into the conspiracy thing yet. And I can see what you're talking about. And after a while, I tell you what, if I do get to the point where I do think it's fixed, you'll be the first person I tell, and I will stop watching. Because I told you, just like them exhibitions in boxing and all that other stuff, and then wrestling with the steel cage matches and stuff. I mean, I can't do it, bro. You know, at least they was cutting their foreheads back in the day, and not just giving you some sort of other stuff. They put something into it. Fool me, do something to make me go, damn, did you see him bleeding? Oh my God, that's Dusty Rhodes. You know, the sheep bleeding all over the place. They put something into it. Now they just, whatever they do. But I don't know, man. I still got a little hope that there's still some wholesomeness to sports. I might be wrong, but when you keep hearing these referees and people talking about that they let people get away in certain plays, I do agree with that, yes. But I don't think it's a concerted effort where the whole league is like doing a script. I think it's just certain people get calls, and you know they're getting a call. Yeah. They did that in the 80s. You see, like, man, such. Larry Bird got that call. You know they was getting that call. Or like you in the Boston Garden, and Danny Ainge will bounce the ball and pick it up and carry it over the dead spot in the garden. So you don't talk about that. Everybody knew that. Okay, here's the dead spot. Pick it up, carry it on. They never called it. Certain things happen. You just how it is. You get calls. But that don't mean it's like, oh, they cheating. You know they cheating. They've been cheating for how long? All of a sudden you want to get mad about it? They've been cheating for 22 years, and you still, you know that's how it's going to be. You got to find other ways to win.
You know, I was sitting there, like I said, congratulations to Argentina. Happy for them and Messi and all. But I was sitting there like Huey on the Boondocks. I don't know if you ever watched the cartoon, The Boondocks, and feeling like, you know, how I felt when you found out Santa Claus is not real, wrestling is fake. That's the way I was sitting there feeling like, you know, and everybody else was cheering, having a good time. Like, I'm not feeling it at all. And I'm like, and I'm out with people, and I'm like, man, it's like, am I the only one that sees this? And there are a few people I talked to around who kind of say, yeah, that's kind of the way it is. And people are kind of resigned to the fact that this is the way it is. And, you know, what can you do? We want to be entertained. So it's sports entertainment, and maybe I should just take it as sports entertainment.
And that's the key word there is entertainment, bro. It really is. At the end of the day, it's entertainment. It's just like, this past Thanksgiving when the Giants played the Cowboys. I didn't really watch that game. It wasn't that entertaining. But 42 million people watched that game, bro, on Thanksgiving. You're going to tell me, I'm going to say 20 million of those people don't even watch football regularly, bro.
Right.
So it's Thanksgiving, the football, the home, that's just what you do. It's like a tradition. So we lose track sometimes that at the end of the day, it's a business. You know, it's a business, bro. That's why some players you look at don't care about winning a Super Bowl. They realize our championship, it's a business. And underneath that business, it's entertainment. So no, man, I just have one suggestion for you, bro. When you're watching these things and you're looking for the reality, you're looking for the real, you just got to get lathered up, man. Because when you realize it don't work, it ain't not panning out the way you want, you don't feel as bad. Because I guarantee the people that you was probably hanging out with, they were lathered up. If you think about this, there you go. You gotta go and get lathered up, man.
Moving right along, I will take that suggestion, especially in these cold Chicago winters. I will take that suggestion. The MLB Hot Stove, bruh, Carlos Rodon going to the Yankees. Judge finally signing his contract. Carlos Carrera, he was with the Giants, then all of a sudden you wake up this morning, rub your eyes, he's with the Mets. What's going on, Ice?
They just throwing money around, man. Like again, like your Yankees. You got $162 million to get to a pitcher. Damn. Like what's them? This back in the day, John Candelaria, the Candy Man. Like $162 million, dude.
I didn't think still ain't that much left.
And you still ain't won shit. Anyway, I ain't gonna just get God, no, you're right. And then also the Dodgers giving JD Martinez $10 million for 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes you crazy. And then the Padres making a lot of moves and re-signing their closer, one of their relief pitchers, Robert Sauer, for they gave him $64 million. I told you, I don't know. I told you before, I can't remember a time except when I was a lot younger and we were watching baseball being younger, that they started throwing money around like this. Not only the amount of money, but the amount of years.
Mm-hmm.
Like 10 years? Half them dudes ain't gonna play 4 more years. They just started around 10, 360 million. I mean, does anybody really think Judge gonna be around in 10 years with that money?
No.
I'm just saying, but it's the way that the game plays then, because back then, at least guys were veterans, they would play. I mean, Hank Aaron played for a long time. But can you really think Judge is gonna be around talking about he gonna be utility first baseman pinch hitting for the Yankees? Hell no. Nah. He's a superstar. They don't do that these days. They just don't.
Let me one more question, man, and we'll get out of here. The Dodgers. It seems like the Dodgers, their top priority is to get Ohtani. That they haven't really been making a lot of moves. They made some, but not a lot of hardcore moves because they're trying to save up their chips for Ohtani. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's fine, and everybody knows it. See, I'm gonna just say this, and y'all might think I'm tripping because I've been pumping up Dusty Baker for a long time. Thank God he finally won the World Series. But you done heard about them banging on the trash cans and cheating. They are blatantly the Dodgers out here saying, we waiting, we gonna go get him. What the hell, man? What? It's like you got a girlfriend, right? And that's your girl. Y'all been cool and everything is good. And you got this dude sitting outside. Every time you go back, y'all walk past wherever y'all going to, he see your girl and he speak to you and he be looking at your girl like, what's up, girl? I ain't got you yet, but you know what? One day you're gonna be walking by yourself, or I'm gonna be, you're gonna keep coming through here, and something gonna happen, and I'm gonna approach you and see what I have for you is better than what he has. That's what it seems like to me. They just waiting, and I'm gonna feel like Ohtani. I mean, I understand the lure of going to playing for the Dodgers, but for once, I like to see a team like the Angels that really broke the guy in and let him, get his start and really show you how great he is to, have him for a little long haul. But that's not the way the game is. But the damn Dodgers, you can't go somewhere else. I'm serious. It's like, why not the Yankees then? I'm serious. Why not? Why not? It's the same thing.
I would love Ohtani.
I know you would, but I'm saying I'm not hating because I like you win how you win. I know money move everything and how commerce works and everything. But I mean, dude, after a while, damn, how much you need? I mean, the Yankees, all this money, the Dodgers, the Yankees of the West, spend all this money, and you still can't win. That's what I'm saying. Spend all this money, you still can't win. I mean, damn,
that guy have to be Ohtani. I'm drinking my milk, I'm working out, and I'm saving my coins, baby. But I think Ohtani won't be with the Dodgers or the Yankees. I got a sneaky suspicion Houston's going to step in and pick him up.
Now that I would love. I can get with that.
Yeah, I think Houston, for some other reasons, because I know Yao Ming was in Houston, and the Asian population really, I don't care what Houston does, they're sticking with Houston. I think it would be a great kind of a move for him to go to Houston and just pick up that population again. And I know, Major League Baseball is always trying to go worldwide. So I think Houston would probably be the best fit.
And one last thing on that. If you do come, Ohtani, bring your trash can, bro.
He don't got it. He don't have to bring the trash can. Questions from the squad. Black, what's your first question, man?
I kind of alluded to this earlier about the media, and their agenda and the things that they do. I don't know if you guys caught this. It was a story where I think Bernard, the running back, who's played for the Cincinnati Bengals, he fluffed a punt play. I think it was supposed to be a fake or something. And I guess he didn't understand the play and screwed up his Tampa Bay on Sunday. So the reporters came to him. He said to him, "You guys haven't talked to me all year. Why are you talking to them?" They got snappy with him. I don't know if you guys saw the video. But from that, Kevin Durant kind of came out and said, "We don't need the media anymore." And to me, I'm not always one to pay attention to what Kevin Durant says. Let me just say that at first. But I think there lies a question. When it comes to sports, what is the media doing? Why are they valuable or providing a service at this point? What are they doing? It makes you kind of wonder. And before I even throw the question to you guys, remember this a few weeks ago when LeBron came out and said, that's the first time I've in a long time. I kind of respect LeBron. He came out and said, no one's going to ask me about Jerry Jones. No one's going to ask me about Jerry Jones. So here again, what are they doing? What is their purpose? What are the role they play? Because for the most part, I'll say this before I give the question away, the average fan that's watching the game knows the game, understand the games, know the backdrop. So what is their role right now in current day sports?
Ice?
I think, like I said, I've said in the past, but I think it really comes down to them is about sensationalism, right? It's about who can be first, not about who's going to be right or giving you something in depth or something that you can use. It's about, oh, what's going on here? And I think that the way it's changed because now it does not require for a lot of people to be true journalists anymore. I mean, if you can speak and you look good and you got a nice little haircut and you cute or whatever, then you can go down there and you can halfway talk a little bit or even write a little bit, then that's what it is. It's not, you got people that are just throwing stuff up because we're in that kind of right now, kind of modern day society. So it doesn't require when you have ethics or morals or certain things that you got to be responsible for. That, oh, I said such and such just the beginning, throw something out there. Oh, my bad. What? I mean, does it have any clarity? I mean, we went to school for journalism and whatnot. You had to be accountable. You don't have to be accountable anymore. You can say, you know, I saw Rihanna down, blah, blah, blah. Oh, did you? I think I got a picture of her. Oh, that wasn't her. That was her cousin. It don't matter. It's just like, damn. And so I think the media, getting back to the point, a lot of these younger media types or certain individuals that call themselves journalists, they don't take it for granted. And then too many others that are veterans, they get paid a lot of money for buffoonery and saying a lot of whatever and see how many more people they can get turned on. And what's scary to me is I get out this point, don't want to belabor it too long, how many people watch this mindless nonsense that they're being fed.
I think the tabloids were the precursor to social media. And I think journalism kind of got caught in between and can't catch up to social media because you can put something on social media really quickly. You don't really have to kind of prove it. Usually people don't go and kind of, you know, do their research to see if the story is true or not. And so I think journalism is in a real weak, dangerous spot right now because it's taking them too long to prove stories, to vet people, all that other stuff to come out. Because once they do that, the story's already gone. The story is already gone and people are on to the next. And I think if journalism doesn't get to a point where they can get stories and prove them really quickly, they're going to be obsolete like some newspapers around the country are obsolete, where they're just folding. They're just folding because people aren't grabbing papers anymore. They want to read their news on social media or on the computer or on their tablets. Very rarely are people going picking up newspapers. I know it used to be delivered, but that's a dying dinosaur at this particular time. And I think sports and journalism, it's a dying breed because they're so fixed on trying to get the scoop faster than everybody else that they're not really kind of honing in and really kind of minding the craft that we learned in journalism, writing a good story that will live on and hold itself through the test of time. They're not.
No, see, that's what it is. And I want to piggyback on what you said. And I think the problem with the current day media, they're paying too much attention to social media. They really are. Social media shouldn't have nothing to do with news at all, bro. News should be a separate entity among itself. But when they start paying attention to what social media is doing, who's following, who's trending or whatever, that's your problem. I said to someone the other day, it's a local news station up here. Every freaking day they talk about Elon Musk. For what reason? If he pisses, they talk about him. And that's why we have seen LeBron, and there's no disrespect to LeBron, that's why sports television and sports news have followed LeBron everything he does, because LeBron has a lot of followers on social media. Half those folks do not tune in and care about sports news. They just don't. Americans wants to follow what they think is popular. So news should always be an entity by itself. And when these news editors have decided they're going to start paying attention to what social media is doing, they lost their foundation. So media right now, sports media, and I even say current day news media, they have no foundation. Because when you start chasing somebody else's ass, you don't have your own ass, bro. And that's where they are right now. They've been chasing social media. They're trying to basically chase what's hot on social media. And you can't compare to social media, bro. You can't. Be news, be sports news. That's all it is, bro. Take the sensationalism out, just report it as is. It's not about you. It's not about that.
Ice, your question.
Yeah, I want to know what you guys think about the age of the gangster refs in the NBA. And what I mean by that is, you think about it. Earlier this week, John Morant got ejected for talking to a fan, and the referee thought he was disrespecting him. Then you turn around, Luka Doncic and Jason Kidd got thrown out. But back in the day, you no way in hell, Larry Bird probably cussed a million people out, so with some other guys, and they never, I'm sure Jordan said some choice words to some referees like, you stupid motherfucker, you know, but you never saw Jordan get ejected like that too. So it's almost like these gangster referees, even though these superstars are supposed to be all that and everybody loves them and whatnot, they're even, the referees are coming up to them like they don't, it's almost as if they do not respect them like it used to be back in the day. Your thoughts?
Black?
I love it, man. I love it. So they threw out Doncic. He should have been thrown out last year many times, bro. It is too much back and forth going on with the referees. To me, as a player, you shouldn't even speak to a referee. I'm being honest with you. When they make a call, let your coach handle it. And what's the name? The player he spoke with Memphis, he's always up in the referee. You're doing this, you're doing that. Bro, that's your coach's job. Let your coach handle it. Even in the NFL, every time a play happens, bro, you basically pull this helmet off and say they call face mask. You act like me. Come on, let's get real. No one owns up to anything. I think the NFL, NBA refs have had enough, bro. They've been put down, they've been abused, they've been verbalized for the past couple of years, and the league has finally said no more. So yes, go their asses out. And then they finally realized, take the foul. It happens. Go play. You're a professional. Get it back on the next play. And sometimes the ref will understand it, realize they made a mistake. They'll try to correct it later on. But every time they call a foul and you do something different, you stand there. They're only human. I love it. I love it. I want to see more players thrown out. I really do. And to me, the NBA had this policy for a while. Once you got your first tech, you got to basically beat an old woman up to get the second one. They're not that way anymore, bro. If you get the first one now, the second one is coming. And that's what these players do. Draymond Green is a perfect example. How many times Draymond Green should have been thrown out of games he wasn't thrown out of? Think about that for a second, bro. So I'm happy to see they finally saying, you know what? No, we're tired of this. You cats are making $15, $20 million a year. I'm making $500,000. You're not going to talk to me like I'm a piece of garbage anymore. I'm not going to tolerate it. And if I believe you're talking to a fan that's going to basically follow me home and do damage to me and my family, your ass is out of here. It's about high time, bro. That's the only power they have. Let them use it.
Yeah, I agree. Things have gone out of control for a long time. And it trickles down to, I think, college and high school and rec leagues where you can get in the ref's face and all that other stuff. And it needs to stop. You need to respect that part of the game. And I have no problem with a ref exerting his authority if a player gets out of line to take him out the game. It's a privilege to play. It's a privilege to play in the league. So respect the refs. You should be talking to the coach. The coach, let the coach deal with the refs. That's not your job. Your job is to play. And that lesson has been lost for a long time, especially in professional sports. And we need to set some examples for younger players coming in the league, younger players wanting to play the sport. So I totally agree with what they call the gangster refs and setting things straight. And once we can set that straight, can we set up the rules back up where you call a travel, a carry, and all that other stuff too? Ice?
Yeah. What I find ironic about it is these so-called superstars are like, like they moving around looking about Luka dancing in front of referees. It's like, I can't get a call, I can't get everything every time he's fouled. Back in the day, the real superstars, they might give a look, but they wasn't campaigning for it. They didn't have to, because it's what it was. You were gonna get the call. You just knew that. But now it's like everybody's, trying to put on the show, and they know that they did. A lot of people come to watch them, so therefore they want to provide a lot of antics. I don't know. It's just I said before, certain sports have gotten softer, and even though their heroes nowadays are a lot softer, that it just makes you wonder why it's not. It's actually probably affecting the NBA as well. But these referees, I like it when even though it didn't really matter to a lot of people, but some people like, you threw him out the game? Was like, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
Yep. Last second shot, Black.
I'm gonna go to this, man. Ice dropped his name a little earlier, man. Dusty Baker, and I'm gonna say this. I think us as black men, I don't even follow baseball that closely, may have done a little disservice to Dusty Baker. Here's a cat that's been out there for years, man, beating the doors down, trying to get there, and he won the World Series, bro. And I love the fact that prior to him winning, he was asked about other people that look like him not being in that sport. And he said, yeah, he spoke on it. He had no problem running from it. He stood up like a man and he addressed it. So for that, Dusty, bro, there ain't a Hall of Fame big enough that they can put you in my opinion, bro. You deserve it, man. You had a long career. You battled around some teams. You persevered. You made it. You've done it. You've shown it. Where others basically ran and cowered from that particular question, when you answer at the right time. You said what needed to be said, and you went on and won, bro. I salute you. I don't salute anyone else other than you, man.
Ice.
I'm gonna take a curve, man. Usually we got all the sports going on. You know how I feel about sports. Talk about sports all day. But one thing that's come to my attention, man, is when you think about this being the holiday season, some people don't do the Christmas thing. Some people don't really talk about holidays or anything at all. And that's cool and everything. But I started thinking about some people, man, that I know and people that are close to me, and how even recently, nationally, people are just, they decide they don't want to be here anymore for whatever reason, man. But really what comes down to me is thinking about, damn, what can I do in order to help somebody that may be down? And you don't know. You might think everybody's good or whatever, but I challenge you to just reach out to somebody during the holidays, man, and check on them. Have to be about Christmas. I'll call you because you don't even celebrate Christmas, because you never know what people are going through, bro. I mean, it seems like they got it all. You got the house, the cars, you got the kids, you got everything. Somebody could be really hurting. Just because you got a lot of money, person got a lot of money don't mean they're not hurting inside. They might be dealing with some mental issues or whatnot. And I thought about that today, man, because I've been blessed in a lot of ways, a lot of ways in my life, but also recently, man, where things are being really shown to me how great things are in our lives and why it's worthwhile still being here. So with all that being said, man, take time from your hobnobbing and kicking it and doing whatever you do to reach out to somebody, man, and just say, hey, bro, I was thinking about you. Hey, sis, I was thinking about you. Give somebody a hug or wherever you need to be. Let them know you was thinking about them, bro, because this shit is short, bro. Real talk. It's short.
Good shots, guys. My shot is to Google. Google wants in with putting the NFL on YouTube. And what I will say with Google and Amazon and all those folks who are jumping in, don't price yourself so high where you get away from the folks who really love the game and really want to watch the game. So I'll just leave it there. We'll be back. Peace.